celebrating 15 years of Young Turks.
Welcome back. You're watching Young Turks. I have with me a highly successful entrepreneur. She's one of India's rising homegrown e-commerce stars, Radhika Aggarwal of ShopClues. Radhika, with India scrapping higher denomination notes, how has that affected ShopClues, considering the fact that majority of your business comes from Tier 2 and Tier 3 towns where cash is the preferred payment method? What measures have you taken?
Today, first and foremost, a hugely bold decision by the Prime Minister and something that we stand behind wholeheartedly. You know, the way we look at it, it's a temporary disruption to the business, but overall it's great for us. What you said was right, that most of our business comes in from Tier 2, Tier 3, but contrary to what you said, it's not all cash on delivery. In fact, a lot of people in Tier 2, Tier 3 land up using net banking as a very popular payment method. So we've not been impacted that significantly. So we actually go out and our delivery boys carry a link with them that they send out to the customer, and the customer can actually go ahead and make a payment using any prepaid method, whether that's a digital wallet, whether that's net banking, whether that's credit card, debit card, pretty much everything on the roster there.
You know, rural is a big focus area for you. In fact, it's more of a B2B initiative that you kicked off with Stoking. Take us through the recent tie-ups that you've made to strengthen your foot there.
So Stoking is one of the partners that we have. We work with multiple such partners. More than that, we have our own footprint that's out there. We work on the master merchant model, where we work with the smaller shopkeepers, the guy who sits under the banyan tree, or literally, under the banyan tree in the village, who has a tablet and he takes orders from the community, local community, and delivers those orders as well. We believe that with an increasing internet penetration, that's going to be primarily where the new customers are going to come from, right? Right now in India, there are about 50 to 60 million customers who shop online. Most of them are from metros and Tier 1 cities. We are changing that completely, and we are hoping to get in more customers from Tier 3 from rural India.
Any deals or mergers in the pipeline?
That's a tricky one. I think Indian e-commerce is just about getting started. There are lots of things that are coming up and lots of interest in the sector as well. Nothing for us to announce as yet, but very excited about the future.
Take us through the immediate plans with ShopClues.
So we've been very, very focused on our B2C business, and you've been hearing a lot about that over the last 3 years. We talk about ShopClues, where real India shops, where Tier 2, Tier 3 consumer comes in, where the smaller merchant comes in and lists his products. But what we've been working on is digitizing the business of the small and medium merchant. And that's been a key focus for us over the last 6 months, and we'll start seeing results of that. We're rolling out a point of sale system that will enable the smaller merchants to come on board with both GST and with the demonetisation that has happened. We also enable them to use digital currency to do marketing, to do operations, and pretty much anything else they need to do both their offline and online business. So lots of focus on enabling, digitizing the small merchants business.
All right, are you on track to turn profitable by first half of 2017?
We're on track to turn profitable by 2017 for sure.
All right, what advice would you have for entrepreneurs who want to start up in the digital space?
A lot of times when I talk to entrepreneurs who've just about given up, it's typically just one step ahead from success. But I think that's it. Show up every day. This is not easy. Being an entrepreneur is never easy, but keep at it.
Venture capitalists are betting big on e-commerce, fashion and home portals, and many are founded by and catered to women. Take a look at this power-packed panel that discusses how women are at the forefront of the e-commerce game in India.
This panel is called She Leads the Internet, but we have to be painfully aware in this country of the huge gender gap that exists. Internet Sathis is such a phenomenal concept because you have rural women going out literally on their cycles, reaching entire communities. Will you take us through a little bit of that?
We actually started by finding someone within the community, and we showed them the benefits, saying, look, if it's weather forecast, you can get it right away rather than having to worry about what's going to happen. Or crop prices, which you have to go to a market which costs you about 50 rupees to go back and forth to, you have it immediately available, so there is a cost benefit. These women got very interested in it, and now they have become our ambassadors within the community who are actually going and bringing other women online. Our target is to reach 300,000 villages with Internet Sathi which is 50% of rural India, and enable millions and millions of women to come online.
Traditionally, obviously, engineering, medicine, these have all been very strong sort of fields for women to also get into India, but there's still a gap. It's something you want to address, and you're starting with kids coding very young.
My sister and I started Indian Girls Code, which is a movement to inspire the underserved, untapped young girls of India, to basically inspire them to become innovators and creators and bridge that gender gap in STEM. Now, in the US and Western Europe, you see that the number of women in STEM is about 5%. It's not that glaring in India. It's about 19%, but it's still a large gap. And we teach robotics, coding, and STEM. And we want to equip these girls with 21st century skills, which is very essential for the future workforce. We teach girls as young as 4 years old how to code and teach them robotics and how to build really cool robots, which is kids are always going to be excited about.
You know what you've said about social ventures with Ankur Capital, which is an impact angel fund, that, they have to be scalable as well. It's still a business model, right? It's not just, when you talk about social enterprise, there's a bigger picture as well.
When we look at businesses that we can invest in, we would look at businesses which have, which are scalable, which are profitable, which can attract funds later on, and which will also enable us to exit out.
Right.
So fundamentally, what happens with a lot of social entrepreneurship is the fact people think that the idea is the most important thing, not the application or the results of it. And that's where we would like to clarify that what we're looking at is businesses which are scalable, profitable, which can be like any other commercial enterprise, except that to just give you an example, Fab India is a social enterprise, right? It's changed the way that we look at khadi and the way that we look at the natural fabrics. And that's made a huge change in terms of money that goes into rural India.
Celebrating 15 years of Young Turks.